I don't want to say I hate it, but I hate it. Like,
It's got some spicier scenes, which kind of took me by surprise.
it's the perfect book to read if you're on holiday in Italy. Hello everybody and welcome to a brand new reading vlog. These are 100% my favourite videos to film. I love when it's time for a reading vlog, I get to read books and just basically chat about them. They are so much fun. As you have probably seen by the title, this week we are reading beach reads from, I was going to say not so sunny, but actually the weather in the UK has been pretty decent for once. Not a lot of rain, it's actually been a pretty nice couple of weeks. So this is probably the best time to do this because the weather this summer has been questionable at times. As always, we are sticking to the physical TBR. I've picked up all the beach reads of the physical TBR. There are 4. I'm going to try and read 3 in this video, but we'll see how we go. We may even get to all of them, but I'm not going to put that out in the universe. I am super excited to channel my inner summer vacation and inner holiday mode, even though I'm at home and I'm working and I'm doing absolutely nothing different. But I'm hoping these books are going to put some pep in my step and make me feel like I am on holiday somewhere very sunny and nice and a good 30 degrees. I'm not sure what book I'm going to start with this video. It's a hard decision. I have some really good contenders here. Part of me is thinking we do Annabelle Monaghan's Summer Romance. I read Nora Goes Off Script in my Reading on Holiday video and I loved it. And apparently there's people who are saying this is even better. So that's making me excited and I really want to give this a go. But I also feel like I should save it for the last book of the video because, you save things to look forward to and it motivates you. So maybe I want to save this. I haven't decided. I kind of think maybe we should start with Love and Gelato, which is the book that's been on my physical TBR for the longest out of all these speech reads. I honestly don't really know what this is about, but I know it's set in Italy, very summery, the perfect beach read, I would guess. The text is quite big and it's not that long, so I think we're going to start with Love and Gelato because I've been putting this off for so long. Been set on this TBR for literal years. And I think we're going to give it a go and read it. We're going to bite the bullet, we're going to start it, and we're going to give it a go. I believe it's YA, but I'm kind of excited just to get into this. So welcome back to another reading vlog. We are back at it and we are reading some fun beach reads and I cannot wait. So let's start Love and Gelato. I'll give you my thoughts and let's just get into it. This is an interesting concept and not what I was expecting. So Lena's mother has cancer and before she dies she basically says to Lena, you are going to go to Italy and you are going to live in Italy and you're going to go and live with your dad who is in Italy. And Lena's like, no, I don't want to go to Italy. What are you saying? No. She's like, trust me, go to Italy. So anyway, that's the prologue and then she passes away and then chapter 1 we're transported to Lena going to Italy after her mum's death and she moves in with her dad, Howard, and he lives in this kind of cemetery almost and in the middle of nowhere in the countryside, kind of in a cemetery. And yeah, that's as far as I've gotten, but I'm enjoying it so far. I'm only 20 pages in, but that's kind of what's going on. I do not know the last time I gave you an update. I do not know the last time I read this book. I do not know what I've been doing. What I do know, I'm 30% through Love and Gelato. I'm on chapter 9. My plan tonight is to finish this book. It's 5:30. If I cannot finish this book tonight, there's a big problem. I am kind of slumping out, but I don't really know how I feel. I feel like every video I say I'm slumping out. I've just been struggling with reading since June and it's now nearly the end of August. So I don't quite know what's happening, but with that aside, we're gonna put on some cozy music. I'm gonna put on a jumper because I'm a bit chilly. I might go make a cup of tea. We're just gonna try and persevere. I think I probably gave you a slight kind of premise of the book. Not much has changed. There's a potential love interest that's been introduced, but I think this is going to be less of a romance book and more of just a fiction. And I don't even know what her name is. I cannot remember. What's the girl's name? Okay, I can't remember her name. It's going to be more of a book about her discovering herself and the grief of losing her mum and all of that, rather than a romance book. But we're going to carry on reading. I'll let you know how it's going, and I'll come back a bit later and update you. I'm really going to try and finish this tonight. I have high hopes. Basically, the book is Lena finding her mum's journals and like diaries, and since her mum's passed away, she's now reading them and trying to like decode her mum's life. There was this secret person written about in the journals called X. She's trying to figure out who X is, and it's basically her just trying to decode the journals. And she's met a boy along the way. They're getting to know each other. It's very YA. She's only 17, but it's just sweet, you know. It's cute summer vibes. I have finished Love and Gelato. In case you're thinking, God, she looks different. I had a haircut. It was a much needed haircut, but alas, we finished the book. Let me get you in a good position and we can talk about this. I want to start off by saying I thought going into this it was going to be a romance book, and I don't know if I would put this in the romance genre. For me, I think it's just general YA fiction with a subplot of romance. I think it's definitely YA. Did I absolutely love this? Honestly, not really, but it wasn't bad. It's the perfect book to read if you're on holiday in Italy. And honestly, like any other time, it's probably not worth it. The whole book is basically trying to uncover the kind of past relationships and past life of her mum, who has passed away from cancer quite suddenly. Lena moves to Italy where her mum used to live and tries to kind of decode these journals. There's this mystery person called X. She's trying to figure out who it is, if it's her dad. Like, she's trying to figure everything out, and it's kind of more like a little low stakes mystery more than a romance book. There is a romance subplot, but for the most part it's this low stakes mystery. She's trying to figure out these journals, and it's sweet. It kind of deals with grief, not in a outright way, but it's kind of hidden obviously in the bag. And I'm not gonna lie, it was just a feel-good book, but nothing special. If you're on holiday in Italy, 100% read this because it was a vibe. But I'm not gonna be continuing the series because I know there are more books in this series. Yeah, there's 3 books in the Love and Gelato series. I don't know if they're interconnected standalones. Oh, I think they are. Honestly, yeah. I don't know. Didn't really love the writing style. I'm not really a YA reader, and this book has been on my shelf for years. So when I bought this, I probably was in my YA era, and I've been meaning to read it for so long, and I'm glad I did. But like I said, I wouldn't run to read it unless you're specifically going on holiday to Italy, like Venice, Tuscany, where this is kind of set. It would be a vibe though. If you were reading this whilst on holiday in Italy, it would be a vibe. So that's like my conditions for this book. But yeah, I think I'm going to end up rating it definitely no more than a 3-star. Probably like a 2.75, I would say. And I'm probably going to unhaul it. So that's where I stand with this book. But if you go on holiday to Italy, run to this book because the vibes are immaculate and it was a great beach read. So I'll give it that, I guess. As a beach read, it slapped. we have decided to go with This Summer Will Be Different by Carly Fortune. This I've heard so many people talking about. This is quite new out, I believe. It's new out this summer. Oh, this laptop is sounding like it's going to take off. Let me move. I don't know if you can hear it. I've moved up here. I'm trying to update Sims on my laptop and it sounds like it's about to take off. I had a lot of people talking about this year. I didn't read the blurb. I had no idea what was happening going into it. It starts kind of 5 years in the past and Lucy is visiting her friend, or she's on an island meeting her friend, like they're going on a little holiday, and she's in this cafe and I think it's the waiter that comes up to her and he's like, oh, you're so beautiful, like let me take you out tonight before your friend arrives. She's like, sure. End up having a one night stand and she finds out in the morning that he is her best friend's brother, who she said, like, there's 3 rules on this island, like when we're away. Don't fall in love with my brother. I'm like, yeah, don't fall in love with my brother, eat your weight in oysters and leave the city behind. And she's like, oh crap, like this is her brother. Anyway, that's like the first chapter, and then it fast forwards to present day and it is currently 9 days until Bridget's wedding, which is the best friend and the one night stand sister. I'm kind of already hooked. I'm assuming it's going to be like kind of like second chance, brother's best friend sort of energy. But yeah, I'm kind of excited. I've read, I think it's Every Summer After by Carly Fortune, and I hated it. So I'm pretty sure that book had the cheating trope in. I don't even remember, but people seem to be enjoying this a lot more. So fingers crossed I like it and that I prefer it to Every Summer After, because I despised that book with every fibre of my being. I'm enjoying it so far. We're going to continue, and as always I will update you later when we get a bit further. It's the next evening. I am at the 40% mark. I was about to call it Every Summer After. That's not this book. This Summer Will Be Different. I'm about the 40% mark. I'm enjoying it so far. I'm just trying to think what I can tell you. And I can't really remember a lot, which maybe is speaking volumes, but basically it starts, like I was saying, with the one night stand with her best friend's brother. She doesn't know it's her best friend's brother, but there's a one night stand, and then it jumps forward to 5 years in the future, and her best friend Bridget is getting married, and she kind of has like a bit of a freak out about the wedding, but we don't really know what's going down yet. We don't seem to really know what's happening, but she had a bit of a freak out about the wedding, and she's gone home to her hometown. And she's saying to her best friend, like, please come and stay with me. Like, I just need you right now. Please come and stay with me. She's like, fine, I'll go. So she goes back to Bridget's hometown. And of course, the brother that she had the one night stand with is also there. And they're kind of like, I don't know. There's like the tension in the air. They're kind of saying, oh, like, I missed you. Like, wow. And there's just like that kind of unresolved history in a sense. Like, before they just had the one night stand and that was it. So there's like this tension that they're trying to combat. I'm enjoying it so far. It's pretty engaging and I'm pretty hooked. I kind of want to just try and finish it tonight, but I always say that and it never happens, so we're not going to put that out in the universe, but it's okay so far. I'm enjoying it. So that's kind of what's going on. I'm enjoying the characters, I'm enjoying the writing style much more than I remember enjoying Every Summer After, but that book was just infuriating. Like I said, I think it had the cheating trope and everything, and I just was like a no. So this is a lot better, thankfully. We'll see what goes down. I also just want to acknowledge the fact, I don't know if I'm just remembering this wrong or this is actual fact, but wasn't Every Summer After YA? This is not YA. No, that's a bad thing. It's actually better because I don't really read and enjoy YA, but why do I remember was Every Summer After YA? It's got some spicier scenes, which kind of took me by surprise. Got a mint tea. A huge mint tea. Oh, but also what I was going to say is these guys, so it's Felix and Lucy, they don't like have the one night stand and then they don't see each other for 5 years. They kind of flash back and they kind of have like seen each other over that time and like had little moments and shared some intimate moments over those years, but they've always been very definitive in the sense that this can't go any further. Like, we can't tell anyone, this has to stay between us, because the one
one rule from the sister is that they can't fall in love. So basically like secret relationship, but they're not in a relationship, so whatever that means. I know this probably wasn't what we were expecting, and considering everything I've said throughout this whole portion of this reading vlog of me reading this book, I am 85% of the way through this book. I do not think I can finish it. I am losing my mind. I don't want to say I hate it, but I hate it. Like, usually when I get to like the 85% part, I'm like, right, come on, we can push through. I don't think I can finish this book. I just definitely won't be reading the epilogue, that's for sure. I finished. Oh my god. I'm not reading the epilogue. I refuse. No one's gonna make me. I feel ill. Like this, I don't think I've had this strong of a hate towards a book in a very long time, and I'm going to tell you why. If you're the sort of person that doesn't, because it's, look, so many people have loved this book, and you're the sort of person that doesn't like people just talking crap about a book because they hated it, but obviously reading is subjective, but then hearing that someone hated a book then puts you off reading the book. If you don't like that, then skip past this because I don't have anything nice to say. I would go as far to say I hated this, and I don't think I've ever said I've hated a book. Like, I am not reading the epilogue. I literally refuse to read the epilogue because I don't care. I just don't care. So I'm going to start off by saying, first of all, these characters have no chemistry and it's painful. Basically, for like 5 years, basically every year they seem to just hook up, and it literally happens for once a year for 5 years. They're hooking up, they're sleeping together, and they don't think, oh, maybe we should have a conversation about our feelings. They don't think about that until year 5. They're like, oh wait, maybe we should actually talk about this. They're like, oh, the sister's not going to be okay with this, like the sister's going to get in the way, like we can't do this because like my best friend or my sister is going to get really, really angry. I kind of hate that trope. Like, I get it to a certain extent, but when you're like so like obsessed with this fact that your sister's gonna be mad, like get over it. These characters are like in their late 20s, they're nearly 30. Like, get over yourself. So that was annoying. They had no chemistry. I already said that. And off the back of that, like, it didn't help that all these characters seemed to do was smash. Like, there was no real genuine conversations, and they had to like constantly convince themselves that they were together for other reasons other than like the sex was good. They had to continually keep convincing themselves and like convincing each other. If you have to do that, then there's a problem, you know? And it would have been fine if it was that sort of book. And I've read books that are very much like that. And it's fine, it works for the book. But this wasn't trying to be like that. This was trying to be like cutesy, summer rom-com, Emily Henry, like vibes. And it just did not eat. Oh my god. I literally hated this. It's so harsh. Like, you're going to say that's harsh. And maybe it is harsh. But I have not had such a visceral reaction to a book in a while. And this just really annoyed me. And it made me never want to read a book again, which is saying something. Well, the whole thing was a whole dump truck of miscommunication, which, I mean, just tipped me over the edge, really. I think I'm going to give it 1 star, which is so absolutely crazy and ridiculous. But I didn't finish it. Like, I could not bear to sit through the last 6% and read the epilogue. So it's got to be a 1 star. I know reading is subjective, and I've loved books that people have read 1 star. Like, I read A Brush with Love the other week, and that had like a really low rating on Goodreads. It was like 3.5 on Goodreads, which is quite low on Goodreads if you know, but it was like a 6-star read. So I'm very much a believer in reading is subjective. So I'm not saying do not read this book, and I never say like do not read this book, but this wasn't tragically bad. I just really didn't like it, and for me it just didn't do anything and just frustrated me. We're gonna move on to Summer Romance by Annabelle Monaghan, and I loved Nora Goes Off Script. People are saying that this one's even better. So hopefully this will be the redeeming factor, because I haven't actually had great luck so far with Love and Gelato and now this. I am
am at the 20% mark in Summer Romance by Annabelle Monaghan. I'm going to give you a bit of a rundown because I don't think I've said anything yet. I don't even think I've given you anything, and I went into this completely blind, having no idea what this was about. So Ali was left by her husband and they had kids and everything, and now she's kind of stuck trying to look after her kids, trying to keep herself together, kind of similar to like the start of Nora Goes Off Script a little bit. Anyway, one day she is out walking her dog, they're at the dog park, and she bumps into this guy called Ethan, and kind of like hit it off straight away, and he asks her on a date that evening. And they go on this date, and he's very gentle and kind of very much into the soft love, like think like Jacob from Yours Truly, like the very soft love, and instantly they have a connection, and it's very calming and kind of soothing and really nice to see and to read about and to just feel. And that's kind of where I've gotten to, but I can tell it's going to be an emotional one. Ali's mother also died a couple of years ago, so we're kind of exploring lots of different topics and vulnerabilities of these characters, and she's trying to look after her kids, trying to keep herself together, but now Ethan's kind of coming to the mix and she's trying to work out kind of how to deal with that and how to deal with these changes. So I'm really enjoying it so far. Fast forward a couple of days, I probably sound like a broken record at this point. I haven't really read any more. I'm not even struggling with the book, I'm slumping out, which is worrying. I'm gonna try and bring myself to finish this book tonight because this video is meant to go up tomorrow. Haven't finished editing it and haven't finished reading the book. Very unlikely I'm going to succeed in this challenge, but I'm really going to try. About 30% through, nothing's changed since I last spoke to you, but I'm just going to give you that pledge, put it out there, and fingers crossed we can make it happen because I need to finish this video and edit it and upload it. That's my one and only update. I think I said that Ali is going through a divorce and Ethan, who is the male love interest, is kind of helping her because he's a lawyer, and in return she has to help him clear out his house for some reason that I can't remember right now. And it kind of made a bit of a deal. It's kind of like, it's flirty vibes, but he's not pushing it. She's just trying to sort out her divorce. Her mum died not long ago, like being very respectful, and like I said, it's the sort of quiet love that we love, and it's just very peaceful and nice at the moment, and I love that. I literally love that. Okay, I have officially finished Summer Romance by Annabelle Monaghan. This was amazing, and I knew going into it would be amazing. Everyone who I've seen read this book has loved it. Like, I just knew I was going to enjoy this. I don't think I gave you many updates. I gave you a brief description about kind of the plot of this book, but essentially it's about Ali, and she's trying to navigate her divorce. She's got kids, like there's kids in the divorce. She's trying to just navigate how to be civil with her ex-husband and how to look after the kids, how to keep herself together, how to kind of just do everything and be everywhere all at once. And she's also dealing with the grief because her mother died a few years ago, and she never really got the opportunity to grieve because she had to look after the kids. She had to kind of baby her husband almost because he wasn't showing up, he wasn't being a good guy. So she's just spent such a long time trying to be everything for everyone, if that makes sense. Annabelle Monaghan's books feel very realistic. They follow realistic people, and I think a lot of people will be able to relate to these characters, and I think that's always the basis and the grounds for a really strong book. Another thing I loved about this book is it was super fast paced, and it didn't include any like filler scenes. You know, sometimes when you read a book and there's just little filler scenes here and there, this was very much like, let's say the two main characters said, oh, we're gonna go to the beach tomorrow. The next chapter would then fast forward to the beach. There wouldn't be any of this like filler and you're kind of waiting and anticipating. It was very much really fast paced. It got straight to the point, and it moved very quickly, and especially because I was slumping out, I was able to read pretty much 75% of this book in one sitting because it was just so fast paced, and I really loved that. In my Goodreads review I was saying like, basically this is giving Ali is having a hot girl summer, but she's still tied down with the responsibilities, the kind of real life struggles and the realistic nature that is being a mother, and dealing with the struggles of a divorce and grief and trying to raise her kids but trying to take care of herself. And it's just the balance, like the real life balance that life throws at you. Like essentially an extremely selfless person who kind of deserves to be selfish for once, but it's hard to kind of relinquish that control, which I think is quite relatable. Personally, I relate to that. This is definitely a bit of a heavier book, but still at parts it kind of, you know, felt easy, felt light, like a slight element of kind of the insta love feel, the beach read, the summer romance, but it was more than a beach read summer romance book, and it had more to it. And Annabelle Monaghan's books, this is the second one I've read, they do generally feel like that. I liken it to sort of Emily Henry in the way that you feel like you could kind of pluck the characters out the book and paste them in the real world and they wouldn't be out of place. And that's kind of my favourite books because they feel close to home and they feel within grasp, and it's kind of like an extension of reality, which I do like. I would highly recommend this. It felt warm and it felt comforting, and it was a really quick, easy read, and I loved it. And I'm excited to read Same Time Next Summer, which is I think her other book. I think that's her. She only has three books. I'm not 100% sure, but that's the last one I have left to read of her new releases, at least. I ended up giving this a 4.5. I really loved it, and honestly, like, it has the potential to go up to a 4.75 if I can't stop thinking about it. But this is my favourite one yet. I preferred this to Nora Goes Off Script. This has a special place in my heart, and I'd highly recommend you go and read it if you haven't yet. And obviously everyone has been talking about it, but rightly so. Like, this deserves the hype 1000%. With that all being said, this has been, I don't know if it's a long video yet because I still am yet to edit. It's felt like a long video. It's taken me a while to get through these 3 books just because it's hard for me to read beach reads when I'm in the UK, and the weather's been fine, but it's just not the same as when you're abroad and you have so much time on your hands and all you do is read all day by the beach or the pool. It's just a different vibe, and the UK just doesn't give that. Like, I'm in my sweatshirt, it's August. With that all being said, thank you so much for watching this video. Subscribe and like if you enjoy these reading vlogs, want more reading vlogs, because I'm always making reading vlogs because they are my favourite videos to film. So I hope you have a lovely rest of your week, and I will see you when I see you. Bye!